What's going on, everyone? The end of the year is already here. How do we get here? I don't know. But anyhow, as it's become tradition, we did this last year, Rob. We're doing a top 3 series this week as we remember what happened in 2021. I'm here joined by our meteorologist, Rob Mayeda. Hi, Rob.
Hi there. I can't believe it's just on the doorstep of 2022 already.
A whole year. We were doing this just last year. So today we are counting down the top 3 weather events of 2021. Rob, I'll let you take it away. We're counting down.
It's almost a recap of what we had last year.
Yeah,
unfortunately, some of the top 2 for sure, we've seen this play out before. And the drought is really the driving force behind a lot of what we're seeing here around the Bay Area, not just having a drought, but at the most exceptional and extreme levels that a drought can be. And that's really what is set aside the last 2 years. What's made it so extreme in California is one of the driest periods in the top 3 we've seen. It's going back to about 1860 for California. Wow. So the drought really had a big impact, not just on things like our fire seasons, obviously, but the state's water reserves getting critically low as well in terms of our reservoirs. But that story obviously plays in the second biggest weather story of 2021, which was our fire seasons again. For the second year in a row, we had this very early start and very intense fires burning around the state, and more so in 2021 this year across the Sierra, where you had the state's second largest wildfire on record. This was the Dixie Fire, which burned for a long period of time. And the type of fire behavior you saw there too, and the smoke, when the wind shifted, we would deal with this in the Bay Area. Again, those orange skies like we had the year before.
Reminiscent of last year, yeah.
Yeah, so now, we've seen a little too much of this over the last 2 years. And the Calder Fire was an interesting fire too, in that, you have the barrier of the Sierra range there in the Sierra Mountains, yet the wind still pushed it down into South Lake Tahoe, which we really hadn't seen with one of these major wildfires before. Now, one thing that's kind of nice being here in Silicon Valley with San Jose State's Fire Weather Lab and their team, they're now able to predict and forecast the path of these larger fires, and they were able to do that on the Calder Fire, predicting its run into South Lake Tahoe. So, again, that was a good example of technology helping us out from a forecasting standpoint in that fire.
And this is something we just got this year.
Yeah.
Just something brand new.
Something they've been working on, and you could really see the need. The bar chart there shows you how active our fire seasons have been. Ever since 2017, we keep kind of setting these new records, and the last 2 years, unfortunately, have been the highest in terms of total acres burned in California.
Wow, so that was the top 2
Yes.
story weather event of 2021. What about that number 1 spot?
Well, we've got some good news for you. And this may be more recent. Obviously, we've had 2 major atmospheric river events, one on October 24th. And then now, as of mid-December, we've had another one, which has done something pretty incredible for places like San Francisco. For example, it was such a dry year last year. Average seasonal rainfall total for San Francisco should be just under 23 inches of rain. We only had 8.96. But as of mid-December, thanks to our second atmospheric river, we've already powered past that. We're halfway up to about more than 50% of a total rain season now, passing what we saw all of last year. So that's good news,
yes.
Right? You like to see that. Also, you love to see the fact that the Sierra was about 19% of average at the beginning of December, and then powering up to 83% of average, almost 100% of average in the southern Sierra. So that is these heavy rains, which unfortunately do cause a little bit of flooding, are the types of rains that actually feed into our reservoirs. That's what you kind of need to see. If you're going to undo the drought, you're going to fill reservoirs. Marin water is a good example of that, going from 33% capacity to more than 64% of capacity just from late October to mid-December. So we're hoping we see more of this, less of those first 2 big stories.
And this is a good top story because it made all the difference at the very end of the year, and we got it in, so that's great. All right, well, there you have it, the top 3 weather events of 2021. What do you think at home? What other weather events would you have chosen and included in the list? Let us know in the comments below. Rob, it's always so educational talking with you. I love it.
I like trying to bring the classroom to the newsroom.
I love it. Professor Rob here. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for a countdown of the top 3 consumer issues of 2021.